Morning, guys. We're out here finally gonna get footage today of both Gleaners, maybe not running at the same time, but both Gleaners cutting Milo. We have had a lot of weather delays in the last 10 days for rain, and yeah, it's been wet. We've probably had a little over 2 inches of rain in the last 10 days, and it's made things pretty damp. And Milo is one of those crops that really sucks up moisture when it gets wet. We were harvesting stuff that was 13.5% 2 weeks ago, and the other day it jumped up, or well, on Tuesday it had jumped up to 17% after rain and stuff. So not good. To take it into town, it has to be 16% or under. So they let us dump that one load, but they weren't very happy about it. We ran yesterday afternoon. It was 15.4%, so we were good there. And it's gonna be sunny and breezy again today, not quite as warm. So we should be able to get rolling here sometime around noon, I would think. But yeah, first things first, out of the day. Dad's already been here and put fuel in both machines, and I'm going to hit my daily grease zerks on both of these combines. The N6 has probably a half dozen grease zerks on the combine I like to hit every day, and 5 on the header. The R65 has 5 on the combine, 4 or 5 on the combine to hit every day, and then 5 on the header again. So really not that hard to grease these girls every day. I usually do my weekly greasing on Tuesdays. Just, I don't know why, but that's when I usually do it, because there's quite a few 50-hour grease zerks on these combines, but not that many 10 hours. But while we're doing that, well, I guess we can kind of show you the setup here with both machines. And I don't know how informed some of you guys are on Milo and harvesting Milo, so we can go look at some standing Milo and talk about how we harvest it. And there's multiple ways to harvest Milo too, if need be. But we're going to show you the setup here and get greased. And then once the frost, it was 26 degrees last night, so there was frost this morning, and then that turns into dew. Once that gets burned off and everything, we should be able to get to going today. But here's both machines. You've seen the N6, you've seen the R65, both doing other crops. N6 is new to me this year. I've probably done 100+ acres with it this year already, and it's really been pretty good. It's got a 24-foot rigid head on with poly downer Milo guards, which help divide the crop and help it feed better and keep it from falling back out of the head after the bat reel feeds it in. Pickup's gonna idle here because it's warming up grease tubes, so sorry. R65 has a 27-foot rigid head on it with bat reel, and it has wire style Milo guards. Again, they're just to divide the crop and keep it from falling out. The wire, honestly, I'd never had a set of the narrow poly guards like are on that N6, and I love them. And I probably will never buy another set of wire Milo guards. We used to have a wide set of poly ones that were like 3 inches wide on our John Deeres, and those didn't feed worth a crap. So yeah, but these wire guards are working. But we can show that more once we get out in the field, how those kind of help catch crop and keep them from falling out. But the R65 here just has a grease zerk on the variable speed there. The header, there's 1 on each end of the reel, and 3 here in the wobble box you hit every day. R65 has, like I said, the 1 there. I like to kind of hit the 1 up on the end of the auger about every other day. Kind of same on the joint over there every other day. And then has 3 or 4 here on this side of the machine. Yeah, it's 1 for the cylinder coupling and 2 up on the rotor driven shiv. So pretty easy to grease this girl every day. And then obviously crawl in the back and check engine oil. The R65 header on it's the same story. Grease zerk on each end of the reel, 3 in the wobble box. These are really similar heads.
There might be 20 years between them, but there's a lot of similarities. They share a ton of parts, which is really nice. Again, Gleaner, so you hit the shiv up there. There's one grease zerk up in the belly. You have to flip a door and crawl up in on this main shaft. There's an idler bearing you want to hit every day, because you don't want to have to take that shaft out and drop that there. There's a grease zerk here. I like to hit on the elbow too. This one doesn't have as many grease zerks on the elbow. One out here on the end of the auger, just like the other combine. And then yeah, check oil, antifreeze in that guy. And then it's pretty similar to the other machine, where you have the rotor driven shiv and then the cylinder coupling you grease. That's a little harder on this machine. You gotta take this cover off here and rotate the rotor around till you get to the grease zerk and then grease that. But after that, yeah, pretty easy to grease these guys every morning. N6 has a pump out here on the end to run the reel, unlike with its own contained hydraulic, unlike the R65. Just a difference in age. A lot of the old Gleaners were that way. But yeah, pretty easy grease. So I want to hop in and grease these things, then we'll yeah, one of those trucks is loaded, I think. Can't remember. And then we'll go check out a Milo field. We got, I think, about 20 acres left in this field, and then we'll move up to a quarter section of mine that 2.5 miles north, and start in there later today, I hope. Well, I got all greased up. It's still plenty damp out this morning, feeling plants and stuff like that, so we're gonna have to wait a little bit. We might try to sneak some wet Milo in on the front of the back end of semi-loads, because they only probe the fronts on yeah, their probes can only reach the fronts of the truck at the co-op, so you know, you got to take advantage of that deal. But I figured while we wait, we walk out and check out a field of standing Milo. This is actually my field we're gonna go to next. The other field that we're in, it's like a quarter mile plus down through the field to get where there is Milo to cut currently, because we're nearly done there. But this is my Milo field. It's a Sorghum Partners. No, it's a Dynagrow Double Team Milo. We can spray herbicide on to kill sugarcane, Johnson grass, stickers, things like that. And this truly is a pretty beautiful field of Milo. The heads here are of the Milo plants, about nipple high on me, so that's a pretty tall plant. That'll leave us a ton of stubble here behind. But yeah, good tall Milo. We just come in here and try to cut the Milo off right below the heads, get all the heads and get right underneath them. And we're trying to leave as much stubble behind as possible. If I can leave 2 feet of stubble, that is great, because it is catching snow for us, which means it catches moisture, and it's great conditions to plant no-till corn into in the spring. This field, and I can talk about it more when we get in the combines rolling, and I get a GPS line set in R65. This field I planted around June 10th, I believe. It was a little wet. I actually planted this in 2 hitches because of rain. Part of this field is contour planted, and part of it's planted straight east and west too. I had terraces the second time I came back with standing water and had to contour plant. So like this part here is all contour planted, but Milo, as you can see, fills in awesome. I mean, it really covers the ground and really shades the soil, and kind of helps suck out weeds if done properly. But this field I worked ahead of planting, and actually had that my uncle, who owns a fertilizer business, he one second. But yeah, I tilled this field right at the beginning of May, after my uncle had dry spread nitrogen, phosphorus, sulfur, zinc, and something else, with just a bunch of stuff. We soil test fields every year, and being dry spread really allows me to get the nutrient requirements down I need with tillage. Our planters aren't set up with any sort of fertilizer on them, so I really like to be able to dry spread that stuff and work it in and incorporate, especially the phos, because it doesn't, you know, move through the soil very well. So it really lets the roots grab a hold and run with this. But this is a beautiful field. I think, pretty sure this got planted at 45,000 population. We actually didn't ever have to spray this field after planting, which kind of defeats the purpose of the double team sorghum, but that is how that goes. We really didn't have any sedan grass or shatter cane problems. There's some right up there you can see, but that's actually in a drowned out terrace channel. So yeah, what are you gonna do there? We did have to spray a few of Dad's fields and a couple of mine that were smaller patches, but this one, no issues. I had another 29-acre field that we kind of did the same tillage plan on, except we dissed it because it was corn stalks. This field was soybeans, and we usually prefer to do tillage after beans in the spring to prevent. We don't really like to work beans until the spring because bean stubble can blow, you know. So, but you can see here, like the back sides of my terrace channels, as is pretty normal for us around here, less yielding and kind of burned up some. So yeah, just smaller, shorter plants. And that's just pretty expected here with the back sides of terrace channels. I mean, there's probably 50 to 60 bushel difference between that and this, and that's just because there's no water here. We hold water there, water runs off here and goes down into the next terrace channel over there. And these areas are higher stress too, so I've noticed the good areas are standing awesome. The stressed areas, backside of terrace channels and where we turned around, since I'm near end rows here and whatnot, they're actually kind of falling over. Like 50% of the plants are down, unfortunately. So we're really trying to get done here and get out of these fields. And yeah, we got about 3 good days of Milo cutting here, and then the weather gets crappy again. So yeah, I don't know. We won't get Milo done before it gets crappy. We're gonna try to get as much out as we can. We're gonna try to hopefully keep both combines moving and both trucks moving. I hope. No guarantees there, but yeah, this is gonna be a good field to cut. This is one of my fields. I'm really excited for it. It's got a different fertility program than what my dad is up to. His stuff is just straight nitrogen applied with sprayers. So kind of a different game plan here. So, but we're gonna hop in the pickup. I gotta go get my other pickup at the farm and go air a tire on one of the semis. And then here in about an hour and a half, hour and 15 minutes, I don't know, we'll start. So kind of, this field's awful. You can see the dirt's pretty black still. So we're just kind of waiting for this dew to burn off, waiting for the plants to get dried down a little bit more. And we can talk more about things once we get to moving. Well, we're rolling along here this morning, not going very fast yet because it's still pretty tough, and I'm having to fight a little bit of down stuff here, just a little. But you can see out the mirror, not a lot of dust flying, but we're rolling along. Everything looks to be feeding good across the guards as well. Looks like it's catching all the heads this morning, so I think I got that set fairly well there. This isn't the best part of this field, but it's really not that bad. Just some pretty darn good Milo. I would say this was one of our cleanest fields of Milo this year, if not the cleanest as far as grasses go. It did have some Palmer Amaranth in the kochia in the terrace channels where stuff drowned out, but really pretty darn good stuff. We're in the R65 right now, just trying to fill semis and keep up. When it gets later in the day and Dad can't keep up on trucks, I usually crawl into N6, or if he's keeping up with me, he gets in the N6. So it's just kind of sitting here as a filler, but we will get video of that later on today, for sure. My wife's gonna come out. I'm gonna hand her this GoPro and get some video of that thing at work, because it's a pretty good old machine. Been pretty darn handy to have around. Definitely helps us get a few more bushels out in a day. But I should probably have a bin full sensor. There it was, going off anytime. And I can definitely tell we're still a little wet this morning, because that says 254 bushels in the grain tank, and usually it's closer to 260, 270 when that goes off. So moisture's still a little high this morning, so we will make sure we sneak this bin load and the next bin load on the back end of the truck where the co-op's probe can't reach. Thinking with my dipstick, because it'll be just as the sun comes out and the wind blows more here this morning, it's gonna dry right out. But we're gonna hop back over and dump on the truck and run right back over and keep getting Milo out. We only probably have 20 acres left here. And now we unload. Not too exciting. Yeah, like I said, I've been getting ahead of Dad. I crawl in the N6 and kind of fill that, or if he gets ahead of me, he crawls the N6 and runs it. Just kind of been filling, and honestly, maybe tomorrow we'll put somebody in it all day. Just kind of depends how things are going here. It'd be nice to be able to run 2 combines most of the day, but that's easier said than done for sure. But yeah, this is not our greatest yielding field of Milo, but it's our cleanest. Definitely not our worst field of Milo by any means, but we're flirting with triple-digit yields. We'll go with that on this one. We got some stuff that's better. The thing about this double team sorghum is the gene for being able to spray it kind of causes a little bit of a yield drag. There's my gray tank, but pretty clean stuff. Not trying too hard to clean it because there's no dock on Milo at our local elevator. It looks like it might be a little wet this morning the way it's coming out of the tank, but Milo dries out pretty quick or gets wet pretty quick. But yeah, there's a little bit of a yield drag with the iGrowth Milo, but we're willing to take that just to be able to keep fields clean, honestly. I mean, it's 10 to 15 bushel, maybe a little more depending on your fertility, but just kind of got to do what you got to do. But yeah, pretty good stuff. I mean, I guarantee my sample that just came out of there is cleaner than most of the John Deere stuff that's coming in. So, nah, whatever. It's doing what it needs to do, and we're getting cut. And actually, these 2 combines set pretty much identical as far as rotor speed and clearance. They're both around 550 and about 5/8 half inch to 5/8 of an inch of clearance. So that's kind of convenient and cool. And we're empty. Back to work. I don't know why, but the reel has always crept on this combine, so I just kind of, it just sits there and kind of creeps along all the time. So, whatever. Don't worry, Mr. N6. We'll be back for you soon. Maybe once it's a little drier. Been trying not to run the N6 when it's wet because I don't really want to tear it up at an old machine like that. Don't want to stress it too hard. Rather run this one that's a little sturdier and newer. I mean, it's not that much newer, but it is somewhat newer. But we gotta go clear back over there to find the Milo again. This part here is the bottom of a terrace channel. Some of the best Milo in the field is always in the bottom of the terrace channels, and it's yielding pretty darn good, up around 100 bushel an acre, and that's hard to complain about. Anything triple digit to me in any crop corner. Milo on dry land is excellent, so anything over like 40 bushel beans is excellent to me too. But really, this stuff's pretty darn good. You just kind of keep watching the guards here. Those wires on those Milo guards will get down in the sickle occasionally, and can mess up your sickle number 1, but also start bunching up Milo, and then you'll leave skips in the field, and yeah, that's annoying. These terrace channels are actually pretty soft. We've had a good bit of rain lately. You can see some mud build up on the tires, so yeah, trying to run this combine down in the bottom of the terrace channels if possible, and the N6 up there, just because the N6 isn't on duals. The N6 is a hell of a lot lighter. N6 only weighs like 18,000 pounds. This combine's like 27 or 26 without heads on them. So these aren't the heaviest combines in the world, thankfully, so I can get in the field a little bit sooner than some John Deere guys. And my Massey 860, which is heavy, that weighs almost 23,000 pounds, yeah, I got that stuck yesterday, so picking corn. So, but yeah, hopefully we can get back to that bad cornfield here pretty soon and get it out of the way. But good Milo here. You can see there's some broadleaf weeds in here, and you know, you're gonna have a little bit of that. There isn't really a herbicide you can put on Milo besides the double team spray that doesn't really injure the Milo and or kill it, honestly. But yeah, you can see a little bit of a skip over there on that pass. I must have a bunched up wire over there. Just kind of look over there, not seeing it now. I have Milo runs out of the grain tank really easy.
Especially when it's dry, it's kind of like water. It just kind of, those little itchy balls just kind of go wherever. But yeah, Milo can itch pretty severely if you get into the dust of it. This stuff, really haven't had too much issue because it's kind of been wetter this year, so I haven't noticed the dust too bad. And I really don't itch that bad in Milo anyway for some reason or another, thankfully. But, you know, we just keep trucking along. I'm picking the speed up a little bit here. It's still pretty tough. You can feel the combine pull down every now and then. So I'm not trying to run that hard, but we're leaving a good 18 inches of stubble out there, which is the goal, catch snow. And once I get caught up with that truck filled, I might hop in the N6. I know I'll hop in the N6 when my wife gets here. She'll get video of this thing and the N6 Cutting Milo. And yeah, just keep hammering out because I got to get done. Try to get as much done before it rains Monday. And then there's snow forecast later next week. So wonderful. I might end up putting the corn head back on for a while before I get back to Milo, unfortunately. But that's just how harvest goes. hopped in the N6. I got caught up with Dad. Truck's full. He just pulled into the truck, but my other combine's full. But for now, we're just gonna hop in the N6 here and cut a bin load, and then maybe I'll hop back in the other combine and get caught back up. But yeah, this thing is not a speed demon. I mean, it's not my R65. I really only like to run it about 3 miles an hour. So, but she's pretty basic old thing. Shifters are down there, throttle, all the auger controls, cylinder controls, hydro, up, down. Got all your alarms up there. Fuel restriction lights always on. Hydraulic oil level sensor. The wires broke off of that, and I actually have the cage sweep on this disconnected, so that doesn't even matter really. But she's a pretty consistent old girl. And honestly, the cab of this, for some reason or another, is quieter than the cab of my R65, which is actually quite annoying, and I don't understand, but pretty nice to drive. I put a whole new cab interior in this, back wall, roof, floor mats new. I put new boots around all the pedals to help seal dust out. And really, this thing is very, very nice to drive with everything set up like it is. She's pretty darn sweet, really, for, you know, what it is, which is a 41-year-old combine. But this patch of wheat here is actually one of mine. I own this field, so pretty pleased with it. I disked this field after we dry spread fertilizer on it. It was corn last year, so I had a little bit of volunteer corn in it, but the double team sorghum spray, which we sprayed on this field, actually took care of almost all my volunteer corn issues, and took care of a few Shider cane Johnson grass issues I had here. Really, this field's pretty clean. Got some down stuff here on the backside of this terrace channel where it's stressed, so we'll go a little slower and try to pick up some of that stuff. We'll never get all of it, but I can sure make an attempt at it. But really loving this N6 for the money I spent on it. It's been wonderful. I mean, we've put nearly 40 hours on the motor on this thing already this year. So that's acres that my other combine did not have to do, and less hours on it too. So hard to complain about that situation. And really, it's just chugs right along here. Just don't get in a hurry with it, and it won't hurt you. We did plug the chopper once last Sunday. Yeah, last week sometime. No big deal. Took a little bit to get it unplugged. Didn't really break anything, thankfully. Just popped the belt off and plugged it, and it's been running fine since then. So we just keep right on and chugging with this thing, and it keeps doing its job. It's pretty much just steady as she goes with this thing. To try to keep it taking a full 24-foot width of Milo and chug along here at 3 miles an hour, and it gets things done. We got Milo coming right in back there. It makes a nice clean sample, pretty comparable to the R65. Really, the settings between the two combines are nearly identical. Run the rotor 500 to 600 RPM. Gap in the rotor about 5/8, and then the shoes settings, the sieve and chaffer settings, are pretty similar too. So it's pretty easy to get educated on this thing. I mean, they're both Gleaner rotary, so they should be pretty similar. But we just keep cruising here. This thing's pretty darn peaceful to run. I kind of keep an eye on the boost gauge there and try to keep it around 8 psi. If we start creeping up towards 10, the motor starts lugging down a little and she starts working a little hard, and we don't want that. I don't want to blow up that 426 back there. So we try to take pretty good care of what we're doing here. Just keep an eye on that thing. It runs nice and cool, sits there and holds about 40, 41 oil pressure, psi oil pressure. So you run it. Just keep chugging with this thing and keep taking care of it. It'll last a while. I know people hate these things, but so far this has been great to me.
I would sure not call it the world's worst combine, but
I know some people just hate these things. I think it was mostly because the early ones had a lot of problems. But the later 83, 82, 83, 84 ones, Series 3 and newer, I don't think it had a lot of problems as long as you took care of them. And I'd sure love to find an 8-row corn head to put on this thing, because I think it'd be pretty dang good little corn combine too. Be nice backup with R65, something I could put my mom in, any friends that are here for the weekends, or my wife or dad. But for now, just gonna cut Milo with it. Hopefully find a nice 843 John Deere or a good 8-row hugger corn head to put on it. And really, it wouldn't hurt to have an 8-row hugger around to put on that guy over there every now and then, because when I get into irrigated corn, this thing, my R65 works pretty darn hard. Or even if we were working in wet conditions or something, that 12-row head's pretty heavy. It'd be nice to have an 8-row to put on, cut some weight. Gotta get turned around here. Neighbor, I think they're burning down in the valley, but probably tree piles or something. So it's been pretty damp, good time for it. No wind today. So that's the smoke you see over there in the distance. Don't be alarmed. But I really truly like this thing. It's pretty darn peaceful to run. I've had a couple minor issues. Switch on the grain tank, or the auger elbow went bad, so couldn't get the auger to kick in. I just jumpered it, and it's been running fine since, which is, yeah, good enough solution, I suppose. Not perfect. We'll get that fixed soon and run it. It's a good combine. It's nice and peaceful in here. This thing runs about 2,450 to 2,500 RPM all the time. I'll try to figure out those other sensors sometime, but for now, not really a big deal, because as long as nothing else is going off, we're going to keep sending this thing. But I know my wife got some great footage of both the combines running. Humongous thanks to her, because that is some good stuff there, and you guys are going to like it. But, you know, watch this video. I mean, it helps. All the views help. Share it. Yeah, we got a lot of cool stuff coming. So we got tractors coming pretty soon. Here we'll be working on, and a bunch of tractors coming in. I got 4 3 IH and 2 other tractors coming in pretty soon. And so, yeah, all is well. We're just gonna keep hammering. So you guys have a good one for now. Well guys, Dad and I got that field wrapped up. We got moved 1.5 miles down the road to one of his landlord's fields, and so I am sitting here cutting out terrace channels in the R65, having a pretty good time at it. I actually just put my mom in the N6. She's run combines before. She used to run 6600, 7720, 9600 John Deeres when we were running those. So there's absolutely no reason she can't crawl in that N6 and feel pretty comfortable. So that is kind of the plan here. But it's going to sit here. This is 151 acres, I think. So hopefully we can get done with it maybe by Sunday, and just keep right on and moving here. We're gonna have to quit here pretty soon, because it's gonna get tough. I mean, that's just all there is to it. This time of year, it gets cold fast and it gets tough, and we have to quit. So we're gonna run till then. But that is pretty damn cool. Mom's out here running, I'm running. All is pretty well currently. Looks like she's rolling along pretty comfortably. It is soft in those terrace channels there, so yeah, let's hope we don't struggle with that. But she's doing a pretty good job. She knows what to do. She was raised on a farm. Yeah, we're just gonna keep right on rolling here, get as many acres out as we can before it rains. I mean, that's the nature of the beast right now. Well guys, we're back out here this morning, and I got the A-team with me, Amelia, this morning.
It's raining.
We've already greased and filled. It is not raining. We filled with diesel
And Dad already took one truck in, and we're kind of sitting here waiting for about 20 more minutes to fire up combines and let them warm up. Gonna have Mom come run the N6 all day today, and I'll run the R65, and hopefully we can get across some acres today, I hope. Just gonna have to see how it goes, but hopefully with both machines running we can do 20-ish acres an hour, maybe 25 if Dad can keep up with trucks. Might try to sneak the grain cart up here if Dad will empty the corn out of it today, and use that as kind of overflow, hopefully. I don't know, kind of guessing here, but we kind of would like to get across this field, and I've got 18 acres in second bottom that really kind of needs to come out of the field, because if we get the inch of rain forecasted for tomorrow, it's going to be a while till I can get back in there and get that out. But we'll just kind of have to see how today goes. But my truck's sitting there running, both the cleaners are serviced up, so Amelia and I are just kind of chilling. So that one's all warmed up and ready to go, and I had been messing with wires on the guards. Really starting to love this style Milo guard, I will tell you that much. But I'm gonna fire up the N6 here. Mom's gonna be out in a minute to come run it, so I might as well get it warmed up. That way it is ready for her when she gets here. Presence known, if you hadn't noticed. Not the greatest cold starter, but it starts, and that's what matters. So, I guess I'll grab Amelia and we'll hop in R65 and get to cutting for the day. Well, Amelia and I are moving, so is that your horsey? Showing off your horsey? That's great. But we're cutting along here. Pretty good Milo, not quite as good as the last field, I don't think, but still not bad Milo at all. You got something you want to say?
I got that.
Awesome. Okay, we're gonna keep going here. So for now, Amelia, would you like to hold the camera for a while? Okay, you show the people what they want to see, okay? You can show them cutting Milo. Then you want to look at me. Point the camera at me. Yeah, look. Anything cool there? Better show it out there. Amelia, can I see this? You see what's clear over there? What's moving in the field over there?
Yeah.
Who's driving that? What? No, Grandma's driving it. She knows what she's doing. She's moving. Everybody's moving. That's what matters. We're gonna keep moving. Well, guys, I'm not gonna lie to you. Yesterday was kind of chaos. Sunday. We've been running pretty hard the last 3 days trying to get as much Milo out as possible before rain, and we pushed pretty damn hard and got my little 18-acre piece in the bottom back over there. We have to drive up a quarter mile to dump because the road's too narrow and you can't get in the field. But I actually was running this guy last night because the R65 has a U-joint going out in the grain tank, and then the stone door kicked open with, like, I don't know, 2 acres left. And I just quit and went home and said, screw it, it can rain. Well, it didn't rain, so I decided to go push through with that, and got done this morning. So now, turning pretty blue that direction. Doesn't look as blue on camera, but now I'm gonna rush to try to get everything back to
to the farm myself this morning. It's 2 miles that way. So we're gonna have some cold rides on a four-wheeler this morning, but needs to get done before these trucks get stuck on this mud road. And I need to work on both of these combines. That one got a call in the grade tank and fix the U-joint. This one got to get the stone door closed, and bearings went out in the rotary fan Saturday afternoon. So thankfully it was cold enough. It did not ever run hot, but things to work on. Woohoo! And we'll crank up the N6. So it can get warm enough. It's like 35 degrees this morning. Okay, that can warm up. So we're gonna start moving trucks first because combines can move in the rain. Those have a mile of dirt road that could get slick in a hurry. Well, we're getting lucky here. The rain held off long enough to get both trucks home. Did that, and then just as I was leaving here, the field with the last truck, it started to sprinkle, and I got it home parked on hard asphalt ground. So we're good there. But as you can see by the rain dripping off the front of the cab of this R65 now, it is sprinkling, and has been for about an hour and a half. I already took the N6 home, and gonna get this home. Dad will haul me back up here to the field later for Yamaha Viking side-by-side that I've been using to shuffle stuff around, but succeeding. Got that field done. We've got a little under 300 acres of Milo left, and 2 fields of corn to go. So not doing too bad here. Talking about snow before Thanksgiving, so yeesh. Be nice to get all the Milo out by then. Corn I can deal with, but Milo in the snow, Milo it just goes down. So it's time to, hopefully this weather blows through, we can get rolling again next week and be back in Milo. And we're home. R65 got dirty because it started raining pretty good on that 2 mile trip in. So hopefully the rain cleans the sides of that thing off. Otherwise I'm gonna have to wash it. And then we'll work on that maybe tomorrow once it quits raining, and work on that guy too. But I think that's it here. So hopefully you guys enjoy all the footage of both Gleaners in action. Big thanks to my mom and my buddy Daniel for coming out and running the N6, and Dad's been running it too. So we've been chugging right along. That's gonna be it for this one. Please like, share, and subscribe. I'm on all the socials at TMontyIH. Website's Territorial Trading if you need farm toys and memorabilia. They'll be for sale here. Might have some discounts for Black Friday and the holidays. But that's it for this one, guys. Go drag something out of the weeds and get it running.